I open a channel in this safe and protected space, and I call forth all well-intentioned energies and entities that wish to bring forth messages for the collective's highest good, harm unto none, for the collective's best possible, happiest timeline, and please remove my influence from these collective readings. Allow me to see, hear, taste, touch, sense, smell, know, feel, understand anything that the collective needs to know. I'm getting a sense of patience. Needing to be patient. I feel like there's a storm. It could be chaotic around you right now. So I saw a storm, like a tornado or a hurricane. And then I had a sense of patience or a sense of needing to be patient. So I feel like you are currently going through some storms, or life is probably chaotic right now, and you're being asked to weather through the storm. You're being asked to be patient as the chaos is around you. I also saw, excuse me, I also saw like wings, like a bird. So I feel like that could be protectors or guides right now that are, if I'm not mistaken, like engulfing you in their wings. Like you are protected right now, even though it's chaotic, even though you're going through a storm, even if things around you seem like crazy. So remain patient, remain calm, weather through the storm, and just know that you are protected. You are protected despite the chaos around you. Now, let me get 4 random songs. I invite you to select 4 random songs to help the collective connect to this message and to help this message locate the collective. Please and thank you. Please and thank you. Please and thank you. Please and thank you. So we have Raindrops by a Korean artist, Plum, I think. I did say you were going through a storm. And then we have Calibre 50. I don't know how to pronounce that one. Another song I don't know how to pronounce. And then more songs I don't know how to pronounce. But I'll put all the songs in the description. So let's see what the cards have to say. This card always comes out in a lot of different collectives. Blessed Light. So you have to let the light in. You have to follow the light, shine the light, be the light. Let the light shine on whatever the light needs to shine on. Cards. Let me lower this down just in case if it's a little too loud. And the card says, enchanted by mage smiths and blessed by priests, Benelish windows let in light and cast out the darkness. So during this storm that you're currently going through, just stay true to who you are, let the light shine, and follow the light. Be the light. Keep your eyes on the light. It's a lot of cards. Oh, that is a lot of cards. I usually don't take this many cards out at the same time, but they did flip. So we have Mass Appeal in the upright, Lay on Hands in the reversal, Cryptic Dreams in the upright, and we have Toil and Trouble. So this is giving me the feeling that you might be surrounded by lots of different people. Mass Appeal says, we have emerged triumphant from the darkness. Let our hard-won wisdom guide us to prosperity. And that's interesting because Blessed Light is casting out the darkness. So these 2 cards are giving me the sense that through this chaotic time of your life or through these storms that you're currently going through, it is not only shedding light on things that need to be removed from your life, but the storms are also, in essence, clearing the way. The chaos is revealing what needs to be revealed, and as long as you can stay authentic to who you are and follow the guidance on how to make your life essentially healthy by casting out negativity, casting out bad habits, casting out bad people. When I say bad people, I mean people who don't have good intentions. Because with Mass Appeal, yes, you have been triumphant over the darkness inside of you, most likely working through your shadows, the shadow work that needs to be done. But in being more of a light-hearted individual, being a bright person, it does draw people to you. And when people are drawn to you, you do have the responsibility and the obligation to see each person for who they are and to make the appropriate judgment calls necessary to allow certain people in or to bar access to certain people. Now, lay on hands in the reversal, this is about healing, but healing in the reversal. So there might be some healing that still needs to be done. I mean, it makes sense because you're still currently going through a storm. So as you're going through the storm, just keep in mind that there might still be things that need to be worked on, and that's perfectly okay. Healing is a never-ending process, and it's nothing to be ashamed over. It just every now and again, you just might have to course correct, or you might have to recalibrate yourself, and that's perfectly okay. We have cryptic dreams. So you might receive some dream messages, or you might receive some signs or synchronicities in your dreams, and it might be about some toil and trouble that people are probably doing. So keep an eye on your dreams, pay attention to them, and above all, trust your discernment, trust your gut. If you can trust your gut, follow the guidance, you are rarely going to be led astray. So if you feel at all unsure if the guidance you are receiving is genuine or accurate, just take a moment and ask for a sign, or, just listen to your body. Your body will tell you whether something is good for you or not good for you. We have nature's embrace in the reversal. So this is giving me the sense that you might need to spend a bit more time out in nature to ground yourself a bit more, or to pick up a new hobby involving more exposure to nature. Go for a hike, go for a walk, go swimming, go for a bike ride, maybe garden. Maybe forage. Ooh. Explosive impact in the upright. So if there is still healing that needs to be done, this is probably why. You have been affected greatly by certain situations that you have experienced. And it probably still affects you to this day. That's probably why you are currently going through a storm, is you might be facing the storm head on, facing your healing head on. We have natural warrior in the sideways. Natural warrior is about it is about facing things head on, but it's also about trusting your instincts. So I think you might have still a little bit of iffiness about trusting your instincts. But there's a quote, and I've said it in different collectives previously, but there's a quote from one of my favorite movies called Love and Monsters, and the quote goes, if you are lucky enough to survive a few mistakes, no. The quote goes, "Good instincts are earned by making mistakes. And if you're lucky enough to survive a few mistakes, then you're going to be all right." So all throughout your life thus far has been you learning to hone your instincts. Going back to what I said about just listen to your body. Listen to your body, pay attention to the signs around you, pay attention to people, their words and their actions. And essentially look back over your life, look back over your experiences, because in your experiences are the lessons to train your instincts. Don't be afraid of training your instincts. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. As long as you are constantly trying to learn from your mistakes, you will be just fine. Anything else? Ooh. This fell out onto my lap. Grounded. I was essentially saying that you need to spend more time out in nature, and this is part of it. It's not just spending time in nature or doing something with nature. Yes, that can help you because it will definitely help your energies center, especially if you can expose yourself to the sun, to the soil, the dirt, the water. But at the same time, being grounded isn't just about connecting to the planet, the earth, the air. It is also about connecting to yourself. So taking some time to yourself in quiet, peace, and silence. You don't have to meditate and completely clear your mind. You just have to be relaxed in your own body. If you can relax yourself in your own body, eventually over time, your mind can quiet itself just because you are in a relaxed state. You don't have to focus so much on silencing your mind. Just relax. Let your body do what your body does best. Exist. Bottom of the deck. Survey the wreckage in the reversal. As I mentioned, you are currently going through a storm, and after a storm passes, you will need to look at the damage and make an assessment. With this card in the reversal, this is kind of giving me the feeling that sometimes you might not look at the aftermath, which also translates to you might not always revisit the lessons, like look back over your experiences. You might not always do that, but it really is important to survey the damage, survey what has been lost or what has been gained after a storm has entered and passed through your life. It is always important to assess. Because if you can assess, you can understand where to go from here. So I feel like this whole reading is about weathering the storm, but also learning from the storm and not being afraid to learn, not being afraid to look at what is currently going on in your life and adjusting how you handle certain things based on what it is that you assess. Once again, pay attention to your dreams. Don't be afraid of making mistakes because good instincts are earned by making mistakes. As long as you can learn from it and actually do something different the next time around. Happy healing. If you would If this reading resonated with you and you would like to book a one-on-one with me, you can go to my Linktree, Tempest Trade, or DM me on any of my social media. Until next time, bye.